My name is Nasheed Sabree. I'm the founder and CEO of Roar Consulting, based out of Atlanta, Georgia, where we help organizations make AI real. There's a lot of hype happening, and we help organizations establish the foundations for delivering new products that transform the way businesses operate. Happy to be here. I think the number one thing is you have to look at AI as a feature enhancement. It's what we've been trying to do for years when it comes to BI, business intelligence. And when you encourage product-led thinking, you actually open up your organization to evolve with the technology. A lot of us have come from environments where we focus on projects, deliverables, and we look at it in a linear fashion. Essentially, AI unlocks an opportunity for us to think about an organizational transformation, a modernization effort, and an opportunity for behavior to change. So in order to do that, you have to invite a culture of learning and constant iteration. So when you do that, you're not building a project, you're not delivering a project that has an end date that says, okay, we signed off on it. You've actually delivered a product that needs to be maintained, continually improved, and then you actually open up your organization for the future of work. It's a great question. I think a lot of us get caught up in the prompting as AI and we connect the two, but they're not necessarily the same. I think prompting is pretty easy. And as a senior leader, I wouldn't focus on prompting so much. I would focus on, is my actual business changing? Are we becoming more efficient? How are we actually operating as an organization? More so than I would be concerned with, can I prompt? I would be more concerned with, are the prompts that my teams are delivering adding value? And I think that's one of the things I want to talk about is closing that loop when it comes to AI delivery, so that we're actually realizing the value and we're measuring the proper metrics to make sure that what we're delivering isn't just exciting and fun for us as data scientists, but it actually is improving the bottom line. And I think that's a missed opportunity that many organizations are overlooking, chasing new features, but not seeing it all the way through to delivery. Absolutely. I think OKRs are very important. Having those clear goals help set the expectation. I think also there's a few things that we use when we work with a lot of our clients. One thing is we begin with the end in mind. Is this actually going to be feasible? Is it going to lead to, once again, behavioral transformation? So when you look at what you actually expect to happen from an action standpoint at the end, then you understand, is it worthwhile? Then we start with three characteristics. One, do I have enthusiastic stakeholders? Are they really excited about what we're going to deliver? Number two is it something we can reasonably deliver a proof of concept for in 90 days? And then three, can we do it at a low enough cost so that no one's risking their career going out on a limb? And then we take a venture approach, right? If it shows success or it shows promise, then we invest. If not, we have the discipline to divest and choose to do something different. So that way you can have a number of proof of concepts going at the same time, but you can decide which ones you want to double down on and actually see all the way through. Because sometimes many of us know we might deliver a proof of concept in an Excel file and you have two stakeholders who that Excel file is fine. That'll work. It gives them what they need. You do it manually or whatever, but they get the value. There are other situations where you actually want to invest in scaling the actual solution. So go forward with investing, but be disciplined and have those decision gates along the way. I think we have, but you have to get beyond just the interfaces that many of us are accustomed to. So we use F# as a team when we build, and it has strong typing and traceability. So when you look under the hood and you actually start to do some coding, you want to basically create logs that actually show what decisions were made when you're actually from your code base, right? A lot of people, because of the layer of, disguise, people don't see what's happening underneath the surface. But once you start messing around with the code base, you do want to make sure you understand why AI is making the decisions or why the code is actually spitting out certain results. That way you can go back and say, okay, this is what was recommended and this is why. This is the logic. Here are the queries behind the scenes that actually gave me this recommendation. So that's what we use internally with the software we're building. And I think others will start to see more and more of that as they go forward. I think when it comes to AI, I want to make sure that we understand that in order to deliver on the promise of it, we actually need to make sure that the business is thinking about the end state. So when you're talking about should you actually talk to the board, I think that's a good place to start in terms of driving adoption. But in terms of whether or not you get the buy-in that you're looking for, it's going to really depend on how well it's implemented and if you're actually able to drive behavioral change. Absolutely. So I would say real quick, just focus on closing the loop. When you're thinking about delivering something, think about how you're going to measure it and actually attribute ROI to what it is you've delivered, and thinking about how it's actually going to be used, what action is going to be taken, and continuously monitor what you've delivered. I've seen too many leaders celebrate delivering use cases that no one uses. So for example, if you run a call center and you deliver prompting, measure whether or not the people on the phone actually read the script and if it actually led to NPS improvement or OSAT improvement, whatever metric you're measuring. That way you can have a virtuous feedback loop when you're delivering these solutions so you understand what you're delivering and what impact it's having.